So earlier this year, we had these leaks pop up of this new Yeezy 450 colorway. The colorway was mostly brown, and the midsole on it was actually a mixtured effect. It was almost a two-toned Yeezy 450, which would make it one of the most different Yeezy 450s we were gonna see. Well, it turns out that that colorway doesn't exist, and the Yeezy 450 Cinder is actually this one. Here's the box, the Yeezy 450 box that is half of a regular, I guess what we're more used to, Yeezy box. You got 450 on the top, of course no boost or anything around the side. Let's slide this compact box open and you're met with a sticker. This is something they've put on the more recent Yeezy 450s. It just says made in Germany. Pulling them open, and today's pair of sneakers, guys, the Yeezy 450 Cinder. So it's not brown, it's completely different to all of those images, and there was a lot of images. Like currently, if you Google search the Yeezy 450 Cinder, what comes up is a mixture of that brown pair and also this one. And up until yesterday, if you wanted to buy an early pair of these on StockX, the actual listing image was the brown pair. And I guess they recently changed it to this one, I guess leading up to the release of these. They gotta make sure they have the right picture. That leaves me thinking, like, what is that other colorway? Was that called the Cinder? Is that a different colorway? Is that going to release? Where did it come from and why is there so much confusion? I'm not too sure, but either way, this is actually the Cinder colorway. Like you can even see from the box name, it says Cinder, Cinder, Cinder. So this is 100% what is going to be dropping later this month. Speaking of dropping later on this month, these are dropping on March the 24th, and they're supposed to be retailing for £170 here in the UK and $200 out in the US. So this colorway of the Yeezy 450 is actually pretty nice. I can't say it's anything too incredibly different. Like literally every single Yeezy 450 has come monochromatic. And once again, I will say this up until the day we get a release of a contrasting colorway. I want the midsole a different color and the upper a different color, or just, I don't know, there's a bunch of potential with this crazy design to go crazy with the colors as well. But for the most part, every single one, the upper has pretty much matched the midsole. Either way, this one is grey, or so I thought until I got them in. And as with a lot of Yeezys, there's a lot more depth to their colors than I guess initially you think. Oh, okay, just an all over grey sneaker. Well, no, actually this one on the top is got a kind of greenish tinge to it, and then the midsole is solid grey. So all over, it's a bit different than just a solid grey pair of shoes. And even some of the on-foot shots, I noticed it looked pretty similar to the dark slate colorway, but in hand, these are clearly grey, as you can see on camera. This is definitely a grey pair of shoes, but whatever colors they've used on this, I think go really well together and look really good on foot. That greenish tinge mostly shows up outside. When you expose it to like direct sunlight, it kind of gives off that almost army green look, which is kind of nice. It has a very slight contrast to the midsole being solid gray, so it's not an exact color match from the upper to the midsole, but from afar, certainly it does look like just a one color solid monochromatic pair of sneakers. It's definitely an easy colorway to throw into the rotation. Like, it's definitely going to match up with a lot of different outfits. I don't think you're going to have any issues throwing this on, of course, if you're comfortable with the silhouette itself. The Yeezy 450 is a crazy sneaker model. Not only is it just a crazy design, but it's also a very, very small silhouette in general. Like, I feel like a lot of sneakers nowadays are quite chunky, quite bulky, and that's kind of the vibe, but this silhouette is just so slender and it's just so form-fitting to your foot that it kind of looks a little bit odd, or at least it takes some getting used to. In my opinion, when these are pulled off just right, it looks like an outstanding pair of sneakers that I just really like the look of, and obviously you can go in the wrong direction and make these look completely terrible. And of course, the crazy design is mainly because of this insane midsole. The midsole that extends onto the upper and kind of looks like claws just grabbing onto your foot. It's a very unique design. Midsole is relatively squishy. It feels pretty nice underfoot. It's nothing like Boost, but at the end of the day, it still feels good on foot. But as a complete package in terms of comfortability, the Yeezy 450 is extremely comfortable. It's like a sock or a slipper, and it just slides right on your foot, and I would have no issues wearing this for a long period of time. In terms of sizing, it is a bit snug, so I would definitely recommend going up a half size. That kind of should be the perfect range, and maybe you've got a wider foot and you'd need to go up a full size, but generally speaking, you'll be fine just sticking with your Yeezy 350 size, which usually is a half size up. Gets really confusing with Yeezy sneakers. Either way, it's a solid new colorway for the Yeezy 450. Is it my favorite? Probably not. Is it the worst? Not by any means. It's a solid one. So if you were looking for a new pair of Yeezy 450s, if you missed out on the plethora of restocks and drops that we had of the other colorways, this may just be the one for you, but I'll let you decide. And of course, I'd love to know your opinion down in the comment section. What do you think of this colorway? Is this something you're going to be going for again on March the 24th? But that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you so much, guys, for coming through, hanging out for yet again another video. Thank you for liking, commenting, and of course subscribing. I'll catch you guys in the next one, but until then.